against David Creaser. I fancy that Mumby will put this one into touch, because Bradford want 6 points rather than 2 at the moment. And this is their chance, and it's almost the first chance they've had in this second half. Noble first man up. This is where they'll look to the likes of Skerritt to bars them over. Barraclough's made it, has he? He's not grounded it. It's the second time Bradford have got over the line and not been able to ground the ball. And what a scramble there. Furious. Now you can play it, I think he's going to say. So Leeds survive again, and it's turning out to be one of those days for them, I think.
Well, it is an elementary. I mean, he looked as if he was over the line and turned onto his back, lost the ball, and Leeds have really got off lightly.
Another very important scrum, this one. Bradford's ball, Simpson, back inside Pendlebury. But Bradford have been held at bay. Leeds' tackling has been very, very good. Now McGowan, Simpson's coming up at pace, looking to get it out from Mackay. Couldn't, because the tackling again was good. Still they're here. Skerritt can't take it. The ball is knocked forward, play on, says the referee, and Bentley puts it straight into touch.
Well, that's not the thing to do in those situations. They haven't had the ball, they've been put under a lot of pressure. He would have been better to have dropped on the ball, and at least they would have had 6 play the ball and could have steadied everything up.
Bentley's beat didn't work out that time. So Bradford had another chance. Stewart, Simpson. Still Simpson. Simpson has run really well, and he's still here. Mackay was up alongside, screaming for the pass. The Bradford fans behind the post there sense that this is Bradford's real opportunity. Mumby comes up into the line. Still Leeds hold. It's going right for Pendlebury, for McGowan. He can't find a way through. Snee. Stewart. Now Skerritt again. Well, he got one here last Sunday from that sort of range. Still a couple of tackles, no, 1 tackle to go. Bradford really need the try. Stewart. The longer ball is for Simpson. Simpson bowed. Knocked out of his grasp. And Bradford just can't get it right.
The ball is moved across here, I mean, and the man comes onto it on the burst. Simpson now steps inside a couple of players here, but this was a very good tackle. Just watch how the ball was knocked out of his hand.
Kuwaiti here, loose forward, has made quite an impression. His tries are the difference at the moment, and the touch judge is back on again. Who's going to be spoken to this time? It's a Bradford man, that's for sure. And it's Glenn Barraclough. What happens, of course, frustration sets in when you've had so much of the pressure and not scored a try.
That's absolutely right, and Barraclough, for all that flashpoint that he created then, he's done exceptionally well in the scrums this afternoon, and he's given Bradford plenty of opportunities from that part of the game.
Into the lights it goes, and Leeds are back in the Bradford half. But the game is still there to be won. Leeds have the edge at the moment, 9-4. And astonishing it's such a low-scoring game, bearing in mind the action. Still time. Hugh takes some holding. Powell coming up, Dixon. Good tackle there on him by Pendlebury. Shank and Gunn and Schofield, and Powell's roaring up again. Powell's had a good second half, certainly. These loose balls keep going look as though they're going to go to a Bradford hand and end up in Leeds' hands.
Well, but that's where Leeds are letting themselves down badly. It's the last pass all the time. Their make-up and their play leading up to that part has been very good. The last pass and the final pass, which is the most important one, has always gone to ground and really stopped everything dead. Well, Cruikshank, of course, is coming in a lot now. He's doing a lot more because he hasn't got Harkin there. He's had a good, solid game this afternoon. He's distributed quite well, and of course, he can exert more pressure on the Bradford defence because Paul Harkin just isn't there. His presence is missed.
25 yards out. Leeds coming, looking for what could be a clincher. And Lord, might he get it here from Schofield. Super pass. It was a lovely short ball from Gary Schofield, who's here at acting half-back again, and the Leeds captain is instrumental in everything about Leeds at the moment. They don't have David Heron out there today, who's such a good playmaker, but Schofield has taken on that responsibility. Cruikshank and Powell again. Real chances here for Leeds once more. A pass inside for Norman Francis, who goes for that corner, and it's going to be a try there. And it's the big man himself. Francis takes the applause, and that could be the clincher I was talking about. There had been resolute defending, but Norman Francis just managed to squeeze his way over, and it was purely down to total effort.
Well, we've said about Leeds not delivering the final pass, and again the ball is moved out quickly, but Kuwaiti does well here. He comes inside, now he throws the pass. Those passes have gone to the ground more often than not, but Francis hangs on to it. His doggedness carries him over for a try.
And Creaser, who registered his 1000th point in rugby league during the week, can't add to the total. 13-4, that's the damage that Francis's try has done to Bradford, who've brought on a Francis of their own, Richard Francis, who's come on for John Pendlebury. John Pendlebury has a calf muscle pull. It's the news from the touchline. McGowan, long one, Marchant, and now a chance for Francis then. Richard Francis is very, very quick, and he's certainly improved his handling this season. Russell Stewart. Hoisted for Lord to take. Skerritt's not going to carry on after him. Too quick for a prop forward. Powell will come through this gap again. But once more, a very fine tackle by Stewart. He's a tremendous grafter and tackler. Well, they've certainly worked hard, all these players out there again today. As I said earlier, they must be sick of the sight of one another, and they will be relieved to know they don't have to play each other again after today this season. Schofield, a little kick through, and he picks up. Only 6 minutes to go, and I think he's done enough to get Gunn in. Simpson might hold him, gets the ball back, and it's a bit of a scramble, and surely there's not going to be a try from anything there. Bradford have it.
Well, we've seen everything that Gary Schofield can do, but this is great opportunist, isn't it? I mean, he puts that kick through, he really picks it up. He's off balance completely here, but he's good enough to time his pass properly. And it's really only Roger Simpson really hanging on to him that saved a certain try.
5 to go as the ball is pinched from Bradford. Paul Dixon can't quite believe it. That's not going to find touch. Bentley was under it. Bentley in full flight. There were 2 knock-ons there before Bradford finally got hold of the ball. Simpson, he's a good runner, Simpson, and he could get all the way himself. That was a tremendous break from the little stand-off half. Francis is going to get back, but Simpson scores a really spectacular try for Bradford Northern when they needed it most. Well, that took stamina and skill and everything, but Roger Simpson answered the call for Bradford Northern. And that was a quite brilliant individual try.
Just look at this. There's 4 Leeds defenders all in a huddle there, badly out of position. Schofield misses a tackle. Roger Simpson, through his sheer persistence all afternoon, dances through a gap. Now hares for the line. The defence coming across. There's no chance they can catch him. What a try.
And Roger Simpson, who's just come back into the side in place of Ivan Henjak, gets his 5th try this season. A very underrated player. Very, very sharp, as he showed there. So it's an important kick for Graham Mackay, because if they can pop this one over, it makes all the difference really. 13-10 of course would mean that a try would be sufficient for Bradford to have a chance of winning it. If he misses it, they're still 5 points adrift. Well, his first attempt at goal wasn't very convincing, and I don't think that one's any more convincing either. So no joy for the Australian, but Bradford back in the hunt at 13-8.
Well, Leeds have adopted all afternoon an all-out attacking policy, and there was always the danger of a breakaway try, but Roger Simpson really took this brilliantly. His superb opportunism took him away from the defence, over in the corner. What a try.
A little bit of injury time to be added on. So it's the last tackle. So is there a sting left here for Leeds? As Cavill Hugh plays it forward, Bradford have it in their grasp. They have very, very little time indeed in which to turn the course of the game. It's going to have to be a length of the field job, I think. Oh, Mackay nearly made the break. And Leeds have their revenge. And I suspect the look there on David Ward's face is one of relief. It's a match they were looking forward to win the points from the side that knocked them out of the Challenge Cup last week. Handshakes all round, and that's good to see. It's the Leeds fans who go home the happier. And 2 very, very vital points on a day when Leeds knew it was important for them to win to stay in the championship race. And they've got those points. Gary Schofield thanks the fans, they thank the players. And Leeds take their 2 points by 13-8 with the 2 tries from Mike Kuiti in the first half and the one by Norman Francis, really the clincher, although Bradford came back with that late Roger Simpson try to add to the one by Gerald Cordell in the first half. 13-8 then. What about the man of the match, David Watkins?
Well, there were a number of good performances on the Leeds side today. In particular, Gary Schofield played well, but my vote this week goes to Mike Kuiti, the New Zealand number 13. A workmanlike performance that produced an opportunist try when he robbed Paul Harkin to go in at the corner. His tackling and his ability to provide opportunities for his teammates was also evident. A good Leeds acquisition. Well, an excellent debut this afternoon, Mike. A game that you had to win, I suppose, after the disappointment of last week. How do you think it went?
Oh, I thought we played really well as a team. We're starting to get things going again. It would have been nice to have done it last week, but nonetheless, we've still got 2 championships to go for.
Well, 2 tries, you'll be happy with your own performance as well this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't too bad, but I'm out of breath a lot of the time, though.
Well done anyway, and keep up the good work.
Thanks very much.
David, that was obviously a very vital win. I imagine the lads were steamed up for it after last week's cup defeat.
Yes, we had a lot to prove from last week's performance. Bradford beating us very thoroughly last week, and we came back, showed a lot of character this afternoon.
And you'd made a number of changes, I mean, and people like David Cruikshank and Mike Kuiti coming into the side.
Yes, we're more or less starting again like a new season. New players are coming to the side, so we're having to adjust. And today's good performance has proved it.
Paul, first, what's the news about the hand?
Well, doctor says it's suspected broken finger, so I'll be going to see at Binderfield tonight for X-ray.
Couldn't have come at a worse time, really, because I mean you've been very much on top at certain phases of the game while you were on the field.
Yeah, playing quite well at the time, and when it happened, the lads stuck to their guns, but it just wasn't enough at the end.
Disappointed, obviously, because you've had the Indian side over Leeds in recent times.
Yeah, but another day, John, another game, and it ain't gone our way. But the lads give 100%, and we can't ask no more than that.
The game's facts and figures are these, starting with the scrums, of which there were plenty because of some excellent kicking by both sides. Leeds were taking quite a walloping in the first half, but they edged back towards respectability in the second. Bradford still had an overall advantage of 20-11. Strangely, Bradford took the only 3 to go against the head before the interval, Leeds the only 3 after the break. For such an important contest, the penalty count was commendably low. Leeds gave away only 4 penalties, that's 1 every 20 minutes, and Bradford just twice as many. Errors were inevitable, with both sides intent on moving the ball around. Leeds put down 20 passes, Bradford 16. Here's Nick again now with the rest of the news and the results.
And Hull have humbled mighty Wigan. Paul Eastwood's try and 5 goals helped to sink the league leaders. Elsewhere, Mark Conway a try and 6 goals to make it 9 league wins out of 10 for Wakefield. David Myers of Warrington was sent off there for a high tackle. Terry Manning gets 2 tries as Featherstone ran riot in Cumbria. Shane Cooper 2 tries and a drop goal for St Helens. In Division 2, Maurice Bamford's Dewsbury come from behind to cause an upset against Halifax. Doncaster captain Kevin Rain gets 2 tries and the Man of the Match award. The Stones Bidder Championship results: Barrow 0, Featherstone 46, Hull 30, Wigan 20, Leeds 13, Bradford Northern 8, Lee 28, Sheffield 16, Salford 10, St Helens 25, Wakefield 32, Warrington 8. Well, no doubt about the shock of the day. It came at the Boulevard, and our cameras were there too.
Hull must have feared the worst when Wigan drew early blood. McNamara's kick charged down by the wily Andy Gregory, and Wigan were on their way. Just what Hull didn't need. And there were 2 more easy points for Joe Lydon. Last season, Hull scored a surprise win at Wigan, and they were soon encouraged further by Andy Dannett. Pure strength responsible for this one. No goal, but Hull came roaring back, and when a move between Hanley and Bell broke down, Paul Eastwood snapped on the loose ball, won the chase, scored the try, and then showed his distaste for Dean Bell's challenge. It was Eastwood who converted his own try. And the same player's next points came from 2 penalties as Hull established a healthy lead, though Lydon responded with 1 for Wigan. And the league leaders hit back further, Edwards setting up Mark Preston for a simple try in the corner. 14-12 to Hull at half-time. And soon after the break, more good news for the early birds. Phil Windley's kick through, bouncing wickedly for Wigan, but kindly for Marquis Charles, who gets his first try following his recent move from Dewsbury. Windley involved again now, a soccer-style dribble, and a little bit of fortune too as Richard Gay gets an assist from the upright. Predictably, a goal for Eastwood. Wigan 24-12 down needed a shot in the arm, and they got it when Andy Goodway sent Kevin Iro sprinting for the corner. The New Zealander's power does the rest. Well, Hull's nerves really began to jangle when Wigan reduced the deficit even further. In the same corner too, David Marshall the scorer this time. 24-20 and a grandstand finish nicely set up. Then 90 seconds to go and Phil Windley uses his feet yet again. A real dive for stardom, that one. And this really was Hull's day. Another goal for the Paul Eastwood collection. 30 points to 20, the final score. Wigan's splendid unbeaten spell is broken, a feat which deserved a lap of honour.
And that scoreline makes the top of the championship all the more interesting. Suddenly, Leeds are only 2 points behind with a game in hand. Widnes and Wakefield come next, but they've both played a game more than St Helens, who jump a place to 5th. Division 2. Carlisle 18, Bramley 21. Chorley 6, Oldham 44. Dewsbury 24, Halifax 16. Doncaster 28, Keighley 14. Fulham 17, Batley 14. Rochdale 28, Whitehaven 18. Runcorn 24, Ryedale York 27. Swinton 46, Nottingham 10. Trafford Borough 28, Huddersfield 18. Workington 6, Hulkingston Rovers 40. No positional changes in the top 6, but Halifax and Batley, who are joined on 22 points by Doncaster, are now 4 points behind Swinton, while Rydale York looks set to be the first side beaten by Runcorn in 41 matches when trailing 22-18 before recovering. Now, you may remember the prize in our Christmas competition was a day out with Scrumdown, and that's just what John Brown from Keighley has enjoyed today. John's friend Gary joined him to look behind the scenes.
Whatever we punch up on this machine tonight, that'll be recorded onto it, and it's from that they'll edit it. Okay? Yeah.
That way, Jeff. What's your mic on? Well, the two of you, it's normally football managers, rugby managers, players who get interviewed on the pitch after the match. What have you made of your day overall?
A good day out, interesting. The result would end that day as well.
What's interested you most? What surprised you about the way we cover things?
In that scanner van, interesting.
What about you, Gary?
Well, let's say, I didn't know how much went into it, just behind the scenes and that. It's been a really good day out.
So you carry on coming to head with me and carry on watching Scrumdown?
Yeah, definitely carry on watching, doing both.
And if they're watching next week, they might just see a cup upset when Wigan go to Hull Kingston Rovers. After all, the cup holders came off second best on Humberside today, doing Leeds championship chances no harm at all tonight.
We hold all the ace cards because we've got to play them twice, and if we just keep tucked in behind them, we just get his nose in at the dying death. That's the way to win it.